trying to do a music video?
No, I just wanted to know. Do a music video, shut the fuck up. Hey guys, welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are doing the one video you guys have asked me for all this time. So you guys know I hate this car. This is the new 2024 GT3 RS. I'm absolutely not a fan of this track monster, so they call it, and I just hate it. So you've seen why I hate it. We have fixed a lot of those things, obviously. So you've seen we put an exhaust on this car. You've also seen that we've addressed the interior, the cage, some design elements, and we have much more to go before this can even be liked on any basis. But right now, as it stands right this moment, I am still not a fan of this car. And one of the things that people have said in the comments, which is interesting, it's not about how you like the look, which I disagree entirely. It's also about how it drives, and you didn't give us a driving video. So I wanted to show you that I don't invent this shit, I'm actually driving the car. So one of the reasons why I was never a fan of this car, and let me tell you before anybody jumps at me and says, well, you know, it's a track car, it's a track car. There are plenty of track cars, and most of you don't own any of them, but I do. So let that through your head, right? I own every fucking track car, from the Viper ACR, through the GT2 RS, through the SVJ, you name it. Like, doesn't make a difference. If it won a record, it's in my garage. The Senna, all of these cars at every range, all the way up to like $2 million, is in my garage, track only specific cars. And this is not only the absolute most monstrous handling one, so I'm giving it some sort of credit. It is insane how planted it is in turns. I mean, insane and very exciting, but it's also yet, in my opinion, one of the cheapest built ones that I've yet to see. So I'm not a fan of the fact that track variants typically are supposed to be more exciting than their regular counterpart. And I've argued time and time again that this car specifically is not as good as a GT3 manual or a GT3 touring manual. Rather, it's just excessively unusable on the street and just doesn't make sense from an aesthetic slash craftsmanship slash plastic standpoint. For that reason, I gave it very, very low ratings. And so here comes the next kind of section of this, is how well does it really drive? Is it worth driving? So you can adjust all the suspension in the world, and here comes a reality that most guys aren't gonna drive this on the track every day. Now, I'm not saying people don't track these cars, that's fine, you can track your Porsches. I'm saying you're not gonna drive this every day on the track. So how it drives here on the street matters just as much as how it drives on a track. And that's my whole argument with this, and one of the things people don't seem to understand is that matters a lot, and I want you to pay attention to that. Now, so, you know, does it handle great? Yes, it handles amazing. I mean, look at this. We're going in a turn here so fast, and it has zero body roll, zero like hesitation, zero skid. It's just amazing. It's better than a go-kart. It is superb, it's planted, like it's insane, and Reggie's losing his shit right now, and I'm not even driving that fast. Like, it is superb in handling. This isn't the question. Like, Porsche has done an incredible job from an aerodynamic standpoint, tire, wheel package, amazing, cooling, unbelievable. But you know, the whole point of an exotic car is its exotic and inspired experience. And where this fails is that it doesn't give you that experience. Listen to it. This is stock, by the way. I put the stock exhaust on just so you guys can hear what it sounds like from the factory instead of modified to be a perfect car. It shouldn't have to be that way. So the noise is terrible. It's just not exciting. That's fine. That's okay. Most Porsches, except the 918, don't sound that great. I have one of those too. It's just not about the driving, like in terms of does it handle well, but rather the fact that the acceleration is very, very sluggish from 0 to 4,000 RPMs. And you just expect more from something this expensive. You just expect a better experience on the street. So my argument is not how good of a track car this is or not. And even if it was built for the track, is rather how much of a fun car this is. And so far, to date, I have not been able to justify this as a 400K car. Even Chris Harris on Collecting Cars did say that for him, specifically, this car just wasn't what it was compared to a 765 LT or a 750S. It just isn't there. But if you look at 765 and 750S pricing, it is the same price as an adjusted market value on a GT3 RS. So it doesn't make sense as to where does it compete. It makes sense if it's a discounted 290, 350K product. It just doesn't make sense the way Porsche has marketed this car, and his dealers ripped us all off again. See my previous videos if you don't know what I'm talking about. So here are my final thoughts, but before that, here's a word from our sponsor. Everyone knows me as this car guy, but what if I told you that one of the ways I was able to buy all these cars has been by trading watches? But I'm not here to tell you about my other company, Watch Trading Academy. Instead, I'm here to tell you about a question I get asked at Watch Trading Academy a lot, which is, how do you sell watches confidently and, more importantly, in a safe manner online? Simply put, I use this company called Grailsy. It is a safe and very transparent way to sell a watch online. Not only do they handle the whole transaction from A to Z, but they make it safe for both the buyer and the seller, and they really cater to real buyers and not just other watch traders. As a seller, you're always getting a great premium on a watch, especially when you're selling it. And as a buyer, you never know when you can find a great deal. So definitely check them out at grailsy.com. They're an incredible company, and they've been the best place to safely buy and sell luxury watches. All right, so final thoughts here is that the GT3 RS is a spectacular handling car, and there's no doubt about it, but it fails on so many grounds. The main ground it fails in is the fun factor, the sluggish 0 to 4,000 RPMs. It's terrible. The second place it fails in is craftsmanship. There's no reason for all the plastic on this car. Options should be in carbon right there from the factory. So here's the argument. Why not just buy a $50,000 kit since you're so rich? Well, here's the argument. If you add a $50,000 kit to a car like this, it does not increase its value. It might for some, in some cases it does not, but it is not a recognized point. However, if you add a $50,000 kit from the factory and it's on the option list, it significantly increases its value based on its rarity. So it just makes sense, and it's something that the factory should offer no matter what. Even if some of you want this plastic, some of us want carbon. And so in conclusion, again, where it fails in craftsmanship, it doesn't make up in handling, because a car has to be much more than handling. As I've shared, the same reason why I call everybody that rides a Lotus Elise a gay person, because it's basically the worst car in the world. It just handles great on the track. And we aren't just buying track cars, we're buying street cars. Otherwise, we'd buy much better cars for much less money if they were cup cars. So there you have it. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications for real, honest car reviews, not ones bought by manufacturers. So again, let me know your thoughts now that you've had a driving video. Does the handling really outweigh everything else where this car fails? Would love to know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you next time for Exotic Car Hacks.